Now, can all this pressure turn into real reforms against corruption, or will the movement fizzle out now that the immediate fight is over? Amirul Aiman is here with us to explain this developing situation.
Yes, Hafiz, thank you very much. The protests in Nepal have eased, but the real question now is what comes next. So protesters had two main demands. First, lift the social media ban, and that's already happened. Second, tackle corruption, which they say is hardwired into the system. But how that's going to happen, still very unclear. Now let's rewind. This has been called a Gen Z protest because most of those on the streets are college students. It all began with the social media ban. Young people were outraged at free speech being cut off. But very quickly, it grew into something much bigger. One of the sparks was online. Two hashtags went viral, hashtag #NepoBaby and hashtag #NepoKids. They exploded after videos showed children of Nepalese politicians living lavish lifestyles. For protesters, it summed up everything they were angry about: nepotism, inequality, and the sense that the elite live one life while ordinary people struggle with another. That anger spilled off the phone screen and onto the street surface.
So we are clear with their demands. Now, what is the next step? The big question is, who will fill the current political void?
Right now, young Nepalese are pushing for real change, Hafiz. They've backed a former Chief Justice, Sushila Karki, like you mentioned earlier, to lead an interim government, but it isn't clear what's the next steps following discussions with the army leadership, which stepped in to maintain order following the unrest. Now, keeping in mind, this uprising was not led by a single leader or political party. It started from a social media call-out that mobilized young people everywhere, and that makes it both powerful and unpredictable. What's clear is that there is now a power vacuum. It took only 2 days of protests for Nepal power structures to collapse last week, which led to the Prime Minister stepping down, senior officials resigned and left the country. Constitutionally, the President, who largely plays a ceremonial role, should invite the leader of the largest parliamentary party to form a government. The coming weeks will be critical in determining how the country moves forward. Forming a government is the first step. Reforming the courts, the Electoral Commission, and creating independent watchdogs. Those are the steps needed to make the system work for everyone. So yes, the protests have calmed for now, but the anger is real, the demands are huge, and the next few weeks will decide whether Nepal gets genuine reform or just another reshuffling of the old guard, Hafiz.